Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have just had one of the most aggressive games of their lives. But how did this rivalry start? Let's look at all the times Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have gone toe to toe, starting with their freshman year of college. On February 23rd, 2021, when Maryland played Iowa. In this early season showdown, the anticipation in the arena was contagious. The fans eager to see how the new stars would stack up against each other, but none would suspect the rivalry that began to form. Maryland, leveraging their deep roster, started strong. They pushed the pace, capitalizing on their home court advantage and challenging Iowa's defense at every turn. Caitlin Clark, despite facing intense defensive pressure, she manages to shine, scoring 34 points, getting 3 rebounds, 7 assists with 6 turnovers. She makes a variety of plays from deep threes to aggressive drives, demonstrating why she's a player to watch. Angel Reese, though limited by an early injury, doesn't let that hold her back. She scores a quick 8 points, and her strategic defensive positioning helps Maryland control the paint, altering the flow of the game. The final score had Maryland 111 points, with Iowa at 93. Post-game, the atmosphere buzzed with discussions about the potential of these young stars. Their next matchup would begin March 13th, 2021. The energy at the Big Ten Tournament Championship was electric. Iowa, unexpectedly making it to the finals, is the talk of the tournament, while Maryland enters the game as the favorite. The game started off on a frantic pace, with both teams landing heavy blows. Maryland's depth is on full display as they rotate players efficiently, maintaining a relentless tempo that slowly starts to wear down the Hawkeyes. Caitlin Clark is a standout. Despite the intense pressure from Maryland's defense, she racks up 21 points and dishes out 7 assists, showcasing her versatility and leadership under pressure. But Angel Reese and the rest of Maryland matched every challenge, with Reese's pivotal rebounds and timely baskets playing a key role in tilting the momentum to Maryland's way. As the final buzzer sounded, the victory is sweet for Maryland, but also a valuable lesson for Iowa. Maryland ended up winning the game 81-69. The post-game is filled with mixed emotions. Maryland celebrating a well-earned victory, and it would be some time until the next matchup, which would take place on Valentine's Day 2022. But this isn't just another game. This would be the first game Angel really goes to work for Maryland. Maryland comes into the game with confidence, looking to assert their dominance once again. Angel Reese, now fully integrated and performing at a high level, dominated with a double-double, showing her evolution into a more complete player. Caitlin Clark, the ever-resilient leader for Iowa, manages to score 19 points against the stringent Maryland defense, designed specifically to limit her effectiveness. The game is a roller coaster, with numerous lead changes in the first half. However, Maryland's strategic second half adjustments began to stifle Iowa's offense, gradually pulling away to secure the victory. Angel ended up having 25 points with 13 rebounds. Post-game analysis centers on Maryland's execution of their game plan, and Iowa continued searches for strategies to counter Maryland's depth. But it wasn't until the next game where the evolving rivalry between Clark and Reese became a focal point. During the next year, Angel would transfer to LSU, which for her would be a great move, considering she would find herself in the NCAA championship to face Caitlin and the Hawkeyes. And it was on that day, April 2nd, 2023, they would face each other. Now, this championship game is the kind of an epic showdown that basketball fans dream about. LSU, with a well-rounded team, enters the game with a slight edge, but knows the challenge that Caitlin Clark and Iowa present. Angel Reese steps up big time, delivering a powerhouse performance that includes a vital double-double. Her ability to dominate both ends of the floor played a pivotal role in LSU's strategy. Caitlin Clark, not one to back down, dazzled the crowd with 30 points, combining her signature deep threes with aggressive drives to the basket. Her performance keeps Iowa in the game, challenging LSU every step of the way. The game is like that of a tactical chess match, with with both coaches making critical adjustments. The intensity of the court is palpable, with each possession carrying the weight of championship aspirations. As the game progresses, LSU's balanced attack begins to take a toll on Iowa. The climax of the game is a mixture of tactical power and sheer will, as both teams push their own limits. The final score was LSU 102, Iowa 85. When the final buzzer sounded, the emotional landscape was complex. The LSU players and fans erupted in celebration, having secured their first ever national championship. On April 1st, 2024, the stage was set for an explosive rematch in the NCAA Tournament's Elite Eight, with last year's dramatic championship still fresh in everyone's mind. This time, Iowa enters the game with a chip on their shoulder, determined to rewrite last year's ending, being slightly favored to win. From the tip-off, it's clear that Caitlin Clark is on a mission. She erupts with an astonishing 41 points, showcasing a breathtaking display of shooting with record-tying 9 three-pointers. Each three-pointer she sinks sends ripples through the arena, drawing roars from the crowd. Her ability to perform under pressure turns the game into a showcase of her talent and sheer willpower. Angel Reese for LSU counters with a formidable double-double, proving she can compete on both sides of the court. Despite her efforts, the narrative of the game is dominated by Caitlin Clark's shooting spree. The battle between Reese and Clark is a highlight reel in and of itself, featuring intense one-on-one moments that underline the competitive spirit of both players. As the game progresses, Iowa's tactical approach to containing LSU's other threats while maximizing Clark's strengths become apparent. Their strategy involves tight perimeter defense and exploiting transitions, which effectively disrupted LSU's rhythm. LSU fought valiantly, making strategic adjustments to counter Iowa's play, but Iowa's execution on that day was nearly flawless. The emotional climax of the game is palpable as Iowa secures the victory, avenging their previous defeat. The win is celebrated not just as a victory in the tournament, but as a personal triumph for the team and especially for Clark. The aftermath is filled with both teams reflecting on the intense battle, with coaches and players from LSU acknowledging the exceptional challenge posed by Clark. The victory sets up Iowa for a deeper run in the tournament. However, the duo wouldn't have to wait long to square off once again, but this time in the WNBA. On June 1st, in a thrilling display of resilience and competitive spirit, the Indiana Fever, who drafted Caitlin Clark first round, finally snapped a frustrating losing streak. They would compete with the Chicago Sky, who ended up drafting Angel Reese in the 7th round. When the two teams went head-to-head, the Indiana Fever was able to narrowly beat the Chicago Sky 71-70. Game had some dramatic moments, especially when Kennedy Carter, Caitlin Clark, got tangled up. This away from the ball foul added to the game's intensity. Reese facing Clark pulled down 13 rebounds and added 8 points, continuing their storied rivalry into the professional ranks. Caitlin Clark, despite a more modest scoring output of 11 points, filled the stat sheet with 8 rebounds and 6 assists, showcasing her all-around game. Her performance was crucial, but it was her leadership and the collective team effort that truly shone through. But it wouldn't take long for these two to face each other again on June 16, 2024. Caitlin Clark shined brightly for the Indiana Fever, contributing 23 points with 9 assists and 8 rebounds in a pivotal 91-83 victory over the Chicago Sky. Clark's standout day was highlighted by her efficient shooting, making 7 out of 11 shots, including 3 three-pointers, marking her first back-to-back win as a professional. Clark's teammate Boston complimented her performance with her 3rd consecutive double-double, tallying 19 points and 14 rebounds, demonstrating the duo's growing synergy on the court. The game was not only a demonstration of skill, but also added to the drama budding between Clark and Angel Reese. Reese, despite the loss, put up a solid performance with 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. The matchup underscored the competitive spirit of the WNBA, showcasing the determination and rising talent of its players. setting the stage for more intense encounters in the future. In the reversal of fortunes in their ongoing rivalry, Angel Reese led the Chicago Sky to a dramatic victory a few days later on June 23rd. They would end up beating the Indiana Fever 88-87, showcasing why Angel Reese is one of the most promising talents in the WNBA today. Reese dominated the game. She got 25 points and 16 rebounds. This extended her impressive double-double streak to 8 games. Her tenacity in the fourth quarter was critical when she scored 10 points. This was a key factor in the Sky's comeback to eventually beat the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark orchestrated the Fever's offense with a record-setting 13 assists. This demonstrated her exceptional vision and playmaking ability. Despite holding a 15-point lead, the Fever could not maintain their momentum, with the Sky mounting a comeback late in the game. In a post-game interview, Angel Reese said, "I'm a dog. You just can't teach that." Caitlin after the game mentioned the talent that her draft class had and how proud she was of everyone. The victory was particularly sweet for Reese though, marking her first WNBA win over Clark. The game also ended the Fever's 4-game winning streak, adding more attention to the race for the playoff spot. Subscribe and check out these videos right here.